Jungkook took Taehyung to the store and brought him everything that got soaked in the muddy water. Taehyung was trembling now. His hands were shaking slightly as he looked at the store clock again and again. Fear was all over his face. He was late, very late, and he knew what would happen at home. Thinking, what will they do at me this time? Will they not let me eat again? Or maybe they are me? He gulped hard, his eyes scanning nervously, and his finger kept fighting with the hem of his wet shirt. Young watched him quickly as he noticed everything. Jungkook watched him quickly as he was noticed everything. Taehyung feared his anxious eyes, his trembled hand. Jungkook softly, "Are you late to be somewhere?" Taehyung looked at him with wild eyes. He opened his mouth to speak but couldn't find the right word. His throat was dry. How could he tell a stranger that his family might him? He simply swallowed again and looked away. Jungkook sighed, seeing the boy avoiding the question. Jungkook, all right, I understand. He paid for the item and picked up the bag. Jungkook, where do you live? Taehyung quickly looked at him surprised. Taehyung, why? Jungkook, I'll drop you home. It's faster than walking. Taehyung shaking his head. No, please, sir. You will already helped me so much. I can't trouble you more. He bowed deeply in front of Jungkook. Taehyung softly, thank you so much, Mr. Jan. I'll go now. Jungkook looked at him with a straight face. Jungkook, I can clearly see that you are very late. Let me help you, Mr. Kim. Taehyung eyes pardon. He shook his head again. Taehyung, but what about you, Mr. Jan? Won't you be late too? Jungkook raising an eyebrow and replied coldly, Jungkook, if you keep standing here and talking, you will be even more late. Do you think this is helping you? Taehyung flinched slightly as Jungkook turned his hand low and he quickly nodded. Jungkook bodyguard stepped forward and opened the car door for Taehyung. Taehyung hesitated for a second. His hand tightened around the shopping bag, but then he got in slowly. He kept a small distance between himself and Jungkook as the man entered the car and sat beside him. The air in the car was quiet. Jungkook looked out of the window and spoke in a calm voice. Jungkook, don't worry, I won't be late. Taehyung looked at him for a second and then at the driver. Driver, where to, sir? Taehyung softly, street 34, please. The driver nodded and started the engine. The ride continued. It complete silence. Taehyung clutched the shopping bag tightly on his lap, occasionally glancing at Jungkook, who stayed silent, his face unavailable. Soon Taehyung saw his house coming into view. It was a big mansion, cold and beautiful from outside, but painful and cruel on inside. Taehyung thought inside, that's my house. The driver nodded and slowly down. The car came to stop. Taehyung quickly got out, but before he could say anything else, Jungkook stepped out too. Taehyung turned around to face Jungkook and bowed deeply. Taehyung, thank you very much, Mr. Jian. Really, thank you. Jungkook gave a small nod. Taehyung quickly turned back and rushed into his house. As soon as he stepped inside, he saw Flixie sitting on the couch with his arms folded, a serious look on his face. Flixie, were you playing in the mud? He looked at Taehyung from head to toe. From Taehyung nervously looked at himself and gulped. His clothes were indeed covered in mud spots. Flixie, so that's why you were so late. You stink. He scrunched his nose. Taehyung lowered his eyes and placed softly placed the bag on the table. That a car slipped the water. Flixie rolled his eyes. Flixie, you can't even avoid a car. How funny. If my things are dirty, you'll be a big trouble. He began checking his step carefully. Flixie, lucky for you, nothing's ruined. He sighed and leaned back on the couch. Just then Mr. Kim entered the living room. She smiled at first, but then pushed mid-sentence when he saw Taehyung muddy cloth and smell of dirty of his cheeks. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, what happened to your cloth? She walked towards him quickly. Taehyung, the car. Mr. Kim raised her hand to stop him. Mrs. Kim, this is not the time for a story. Taehyung, go and prepare coffee. The guests will be here anytime. And then she ran to her other son. Mrs. Kim, please go and dress nicely, son. You must look handsome today. She smiled lonely at him. Flixie smiled proudly and stood up. Taehyung quietly made his way to the kitchen. Even thought he was still in that messy condition. He began preparing the coffee and snacks like he was told. His stomach groaned as he glanced at the snacks. He was very hungry. Looking around, he saw a little red food near the trays. His eyes softened and he quickly picked it up. Taehyung whispered, I ate quickly before anyone see. He sat in the corner and ate it first, not caring about the taste. Suddenly the doorbell rang. Mr. Kim got up to open the door. Curious, Taehyung peeked through the small kitchen window and his eyes widened in shock. It was Jungkook. He was as his father greeted Jungkook warmly. Mr. Kim, I'm so happy that your father agreed to this proposal, Mr. Jeon. Jungkook gave him a small nod and stepped inside. Jungkook, yes. He sat down on the couch. Mr. Kim sat across from him, his face full of excitement. Soon Mr. Kim entered the room with a bright smile. Mrs. Kim, oh, you came, Jungkook. I'm so happy. She sat beside her husband. Mrs. Kim, wait, son. He is coming. Actually, he is very happy and excited to meet you. That's why he is taking some time to get ready. She giggled teasingly. Jungkook, it's all right, auntie. Mrs. Kim made a fake pout. Mrs. Kim, call me mom, son. Jungkook just nodded again, saying nothing more. Mr. Kim suddenly called out, Mr. Kim, Taehyung, where are you? In the kitchen, Taehyung flinched as his father was. Taehyung, come in, Appa. He quickly came out, holding the tray carefully. His hand was down and his voice trembling slightly. He placed the tray on the table and gently served the coffee to everyone. When he placed the cup in front of Jungkook, the other man stared at him confused. Jungkook thinking, why is he still in muddy clothes? And didn't Mrs. Kim say the boy is getting ready? He didn't say anything and just kept watching. Mrs. Kim turned to Taehyung. Mrs. Kim, go and call Flix. Taehyung gave a small nod and left the room quickly. Jungkook blinked and looked at Mrs. Kim. Jungkook, who is Flixie? Mrs. Kim smiled sweetly. Mrs. Kim, your soon-to-be husband. Jungkook raised an eyebrow, frowning silently. That was not what he expected. Soon Flixie entered the room wearing nice clothes and pretending to be shy. Flixie, nice to meet you, Mr. John. He smiled softly, but Jungkook's cold eyes made his smile fade. Mr. Jungkook, Mrs. Kim chuckled. Mrs. Kim, Flixie was so formal. He'll be your husband soon. Flixie blushed and looked down. Jungkook looked between everyone and then spoke in a serious tone. Jungkook, I'm sorry, Mr. Kim, but I thought the older son of this house was going to marry me. At that moment, Taehyung stopped mid-sentence while walking back. His eyes widened. Mrs. Kim and Mr. Kim looked at each other and laughed nervously. Mr. Kim, actually, Taehyung is not ready for marriage and Felicity like you a lot. So, Jungkook stared at them. Jungkook, what if I like Taehyung more? His voice was cold and directed. Mrs. Kim's eyes widened. Flixie quickly stepped forward. Flixie, no, no, how can you say that, Mr. Jian? I like you. Jungkook turned his eyes to him now and never Mrs. Kim. Mr. Jian, Flixie is a very sweet boy. He is kind and responsible. He will be perfect partner. Jungkook stood up calmly. Jungkook, I'll think about it, but don't get your hope too high. I'll watch both of your son carefully and choose the one who is really right for me. He gave one last look to Taehyung, who still stood in silence, frozen. Jungkook, thank you for the coffee. I'll take my leave now. He walked towards the door. Mr. and Mrs. Kim quickly stood up, tried to stop him. Mrs. Kim, wait, son, we can explain more. But Jungkook didn't stop. He walked out of with a calm head, powerful aura, leaving everyone behind, shocked and speechless. He got inside his car and drove away. After Jungkook left from there, he had no idea that he had made a very big mistake by saying John Jungkook. What if I liked Taehyung more? Inside the house, Mrs. Kim slowly turned towards the kitchen window. His sharp eyes crossed the finger of a boy peeking nervously from the small window. As soon as Taehyung noticed his stepmother's eye burning with anger, his body frozen, his heart started beating fast in fear. He quickly moved back and stood still. Mrs. Kim screamed with Taehyung. His voice made the boy jumped. Taehyung slowly looked up with scared eyes, but to his surprise, her face had softened. Mrs. Kim calmly, come here, son. Taehyung, still unsure, obeyed her. He could feel something was not right. With a shaky breath, he walked slowly towards her and stood in front of her, her eyes still on the ground. Mrs. Kim pointing to the seat. Sit here. Taehyung blinked in confusion but followed her word and sat beside her quietly. Suddenly, a loud voice broke the silence, flickeringly. It's because of you, he pointed at him, making the poor boy flinch badly. Mrs. Kim sharply, Flixie, behave. His sharp tone made Flixie quiet immediately. Mrs. Kim whispered to his wife, what should we do now? Mr. breathed and turned to face Taehyung, who was now finding nervously. His fingers twitched each other in his lap. Mrs. Kim softly, Taehyung, you saw what happened at the right? Taehyung slowly nodded, not trusting his voice to speak. Mrs. Kim sighed, Flixie, your brother loved Mr. Jian very much, but you know, the rule is this family, the older child must marry first. That's the tradition. Mrs. Kim looked deeply into Taehyung's eyes. Mrs. Kim, now tell me, what should we do? Do you want to marry Mr. Jian? Taehyung shaking his head sturdily. No, madam. His voice was small and scared. Mrs. Kim smiled a little at his reply, but her eyes were still cold. But Mr. Kim, but as you heard, Mr. Jian is not willing to marry Flixie. He said he would choose between you both. She leaned forward. Mrs. Kim, so what now? Taehyung nervously, I will tell him that I didn't like him. Mrs. Kim shaking his hand. Even if you say that Mr. Jian won't believe you, Taehyung looked even more anxious now. Taehyung, what should I do then? Mrs. Kim gently touched his chin, making him look at her. Mrs. Kim softly, well, if you are asking me, then you all have to behave very badly in front of him. She slowly pressed his cheek with a fake sweet smile. Taehyung gulped hard, his eyes full of fear. Mrs. Kim firmly, you understood? Taehyung in whisper, yes. Flixie smiled. Mr. Kim smiled proudly as if his voice had done something very clever. Mrs. Kim, now that's my boy. You understood what we say. I love it when you obey everything quietly. His voice was low and dark, sending chill thought down his spine. She got off his chair and stood up from the couch. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, could you please fry some chicken? I am feeling hungry. Taehyung softly, but madam, can I have a bath first? He looked down, voice trembling. Lexi mocking, oh yes, he smelled like a garbage bin. He rushed his waist in disgust. Mrs. Kim looked at him from top to bottom. Mrs. Kim, alright. She walked away to her room, followed by Mr. Kim. Taehyung entered his small room, which looked more like a storeroom than a bedroom. He stood in the front of mirror. His reflection stared back at him, shiny sad tears and tears rolling down his cheeks. Taehyung whispered to himself, why do they treat me like this? Am I even a human? He thought deeply when maid get paid, but me, nothing for them, not a son, not even a servant. His lips curled into a small smile. Taehyung softly, no one deserves me. He wiped his tears with frustration and went to take a bath. Later that evening, Taehyung stood in the kitchen, placing the food near on the dining table. Mrs. Kim said thanks. Taehyung felt a tiny speak of hope. Taehyung smiled softly, not to mention Madam. His heart felt a little warm. He had never received love since childhood. Only one person, his nanny, had truly loved him, but she was thrown out by Mrs. Kim when Taehyung was just 5 years old. He stood quickly in the corner of the dining room, watching their happy family eat their meal without him. Flexi glared at Taehyung. Taehyung, can you pour water for me? Taehyung quickly sure. He walked quickly and poured water in Flexi's glass. Still smiling, Flexi thanked. Taehyung nodded and went back to his usual place, standing quietly in the corner of the room. He didn't speak, he didn't cry, but his eyes were full of silent pain. Other side, Mr. Jian smiled warmly as he in the door opened. Mr. Jian welcomed home son. Jungkook stood up and sat quietly and sat on the couch, looking little tired. His shoulders were slightly drooped. Mr. Jian sitting on the back on his hand, looking up from the bed. Mr. Jian, did you meet Mr. Kim's son? Jungkook, Jungkook, Mrs. Jian, he is fine. Is he? Did you talk well with him? Jungkook frowned a little. He looked confused. Jungkook, why didn't you tell me earlier that they had two sons? Mr. John lowered his book, staring, raising an eyebrow. Mr. Jan, why can't you like anyone's son? Jungkook slowly looked at her with a cold, stare face. Jungkook, it's not like that. I didn't like him. Actually, I liked him more. Mr. Jan eyes went wide in surprise. She turned to look at Mr. Jan and smiled softly. Mr. Jan, oh my, you saw someone and already started liking him? She teased with a playful smirk, but Jungkook didn't reply. He just stayed silent and stared at his feet. Mr. Jian, so should we go there tomorrow and fix your marriage with him? Jungkook, no. Mr. Jian, why not? Jungkook looked up at his mother with serious eyes. Jungkook, because they are not ready to give the home, they said, Flexi love me. Mrs. Jan smiled dropped. She looked worried now. Mrs. Jan, so what did you say to them? Jungkook, I told them I'll observe both and then choose the one who is better for me, Mr. Jan. But you said you liked him more. Why not just tell them and make the home marry you? Jungkook turned his face towards his father, his expression and baby. Jungkook, the more I think about it, I feel they are not going to give the home. Mrs. Jan, why do you think like that? Jungkook smiles slightly like he already saw the whole picture. Jungkook, because it looked like they flexy more than Taehyung. Mrs. Jan and Mr. Jan changed confused glares. Jungkook stood up and walked towards his bedroom to fresh up. Tomorrow, Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, can you make some extra pancake? Mr. Kim, Taehyung, can you pour mango juice for me? Then Kim, Taehyung, where my newspaper? Taehyung was running around the house, not to stop doing everything for his family. He looked tired, but he kept smiling and doing all the work. The doorbell suddenly rang. Taehyung, I'll get it. He ran to open the door. Flexi from living room. Who is it? When Flexi came out and saw the visitor, his eyes widened. Mr. Jian Taehyung quickly turned around and tried to walk away, but Jungkook stepped forward and gently grabbed his small waist. Jungkook, be ready, you two. I'll take you both on a date. Taehyung eyes wide and he tried to pull his hand back. Taehyung, let me go. Jungkook, oh sorry. Jungkook let me go quickly, but Taehyung stumbled back before he could fall. Jungkook pushed him, wrapped an arm around his waist to steady him. Taehyung, blushing, why are you holding me like that? Taehyung pulled Jungkook away quickly, his face red with embarrassment. And just then Mrs. Kim came out of the kitchen. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, who is it? She pushed when she saw Jungkook. Her eyes widened and she quickly bowed. Mrs. Kim, oh, Mr. Jan, what a surprise. You scare me. Please come in, Taehyung. What are you doing? Go make our guest some coffee. She glared at Taehyung. He nodded quickly and turned. Jungkook, no need for that, Mr. Kim. I just came to take both of your sons on a date. Mrs. Kim nervous smile. That's good to hear, but isn't it a little strange? I mean, a date is usually with one person, right? Jungkook, calm but cool. Alright, then Taehyung, go and get ready. Taehyung looked panicked and shook his head quickly. Jungkook, what? Before Jungkook could finish, Mrs. Kim interpreted. Mrs. Kim, why Taehyung? You can take flexing intent. Jungkook face darkened. He stared directly at her. Jungkook, why are you my parent now? You can order me around, telling me what to do, who to take and who to not to take. Mrs. Kim became quiet immediately. Mrs. Kim nervous. I'm sorry, Mr. Jan. You can take both of my son if you wish. Jungkook still go get ready. He turned to look at Taehyung. The boy flinched at the serious tone, but nodded quickly and ran to his room. He turned to look at Taehyung. The boy flinched at the serious tone, but nodded quickly and ran to his room. Mrs. Kim stood frozen beside Jungkook, watching Taehyung disappear into his room.